The important thing with the Lazy Daisy stitch is making sure that you're keeping the points of the petal quite together, because otherwise it can kind of look a bit like a star, which is fine if that's what you're going for, but we're going to go for flowers today. Okay, so I'm going to do these slightly bigger because I'm using the 3 strands of thread. We can get away with it, and I'll get gradually smaller. So like we did before with the chain stitch, there we go. I've done the loop, I've tethered the loop with my next stitch, and then like we just did to end each of these, instead of bringing the needle back inside that loop, we're actually going to just tether it by doing a stitch over the top of that loop. Okay, there we go. So that's our first petal. Okay, so for the next petal, I'm just going to come up near the center again, and I'm going to go back down just next to it. I'm going to make that loop like we did before, and I am just going to bring my needle up inside that loop. Okay, and we're going to pull it in the direction that we were stitching, and you can kind of try and not pull it too taut, and you can kind of keep that kind of petal shape, you see, and we're just going to tether it by putting a stitch over the top of that loop. There we go. Okay, can you see how that's kind of giving flower petals? So again, going to come up right near the middle. I'm going to go back down again, and then I'm just going to bring the needle up, there we go, inside that loop. There we go. Maybe a little bit far out. There we go, it's a bit better. So I'm going to bring the needle up inside the loop. I'm going to pull it taut in the direction we're stitching, and then I'm just going to anchor it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do one more here. So bring it up in the middle, back down next to where you were stitching. I'm going to do my next petal by bringing it up through that loop, which is twisted, which you want to avoid. There we go. It is a little bit fiddlier when you've got 3 strands. There you go, because you want to make sure that you catch all 3 on the loop. There we go. And we're going to anchor that petal. And then we've just got one last petal to do. Okay, so bring the needle back down next to where you just came up, and put the needle through that loop there. There we go. And we're just going to anchor that petal down there. There we go. Okay, so you can see there, it's given like a really pretty little flower. Now what we can do, and I'll do it at the end, is we'll put a French knot in the centre. So I'm just going to anchor this thread here. So that was the Lazy Daisy, but with 3 strands of thread. And I'm just going to do a French knot in the middle of this blue one as well, just to give it a bit of a contrast. Okay, so again, I'm going to do 3 wraps of that French knot. 1, 2, 3. Go down just next to where I came up. There we go. Ta-da! So another use for your French knot. Okay. There we go. So that is just 1 strand of thread for the chain and the lazy daisy, and we've added a little bit of detail with the singular strands of yellow. We've got our little daisy here, which has got the French knot in the middle, and that was with 2 strands of thread. And then with 3 strands of thread, you can see it really fills in those petals really well, and that chain stitch was a little bit chunkier.